let's talk Star Wars. And let's talk Star Wars that I'm actually excited for. You're excited too.
Yeah.
Because you and I are going to the movies.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to go see Episode 3. By far my favorite of the Star Wars movies. And get to watch Obi-Wan and Anakin duel it out. I'm so stoked. I'm so excited. I'm going to see this probably at least twice.
Yeah, I might too.
Cineone.
If that's an option, George, I'll chill out.
Right?
Yeah.
So it is the 20th anniversary of Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, with the theatrical re-release experience in theaters beginning April 25th. It also apparently is coming to the 4D theaters. I've never been to one, so
I've never been to one either.
But with the light sounds, the movement of the seats, the wind.
Yeah.
This might be a good movie to try it out with. Yeah. And keeping on the Star Wars hype train, I mean, this is already hype enough. Coming from the Hollywood Reporter, Lucasfilm boss Kathleen Kennedy expected to retire this year. If this happens, this is good.
We're so back.
I'm sorry that she's retiring, unless she wanted to retire, but hopefully somebody can come in that can maybe fix Star Wars. The prolific producer has presided over Star Wars, Indiana Jones franchises through ups and downs since 2012. Because she is the one who George Lucas had put in charge when he stepped down. After more than a decade in a galaxy far, far away, Kathleen Kennedy is charting a course towards retirement. The Lucasfilm boss has told associates that she plans to retire by the end of 2025. A source confirms to the Hollywood Reporter. PUCK is the website. We're not going to go ahead and mess with potential issues with YouTube. It is PUCK.
Okay.
Reported the news on Monday night. Representatives for Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilms were not immediately available for comment. Kennedy joined Lucasfilm in 2012 as co-chair alongside Star Wars creator George Lucas, and a few months later took the reins after Disney paid $4 billion for the company as Lucas exited. She relaunched the franchise beginning with J.J. Abrams' Star Wars The Force Awakens, with gross more than $2 billion globally, and reinvigorated the property as a big screen brand. Disney released Star Wars films every year from 2015 to 2019, then took a pause for following Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, which received a mixed response and earned just half of what The Force Awakens. Question for you.
Yep.
Is the Rey movie happening now? Because that's been in production nightmare, and I think she was one of the main ones pushing for it.
It didn't even get to production. How could it be a production nightmare if it isn't in production?
Okay, fine, pre-production nightmare.
There you go.
Okay, sorry. I'll be careful with my terminology next time. I apologize. As Lucasfilm's boss, Kennedy held one of the most visible and scrutinized jobs in Hollywood, and it was not always smooth sailing. She fired Chris Lloyd and Phil Miller as directors of Solo, Star Wars story, in the middle of production. The film went on to be the first Star Wars movie to lose money theatrically. She also sidelined Rogue One, a Star Wars story directed by Gareth Edwards, replacing him with Tony Gilroy, who was brought on to oversee reshoots. The film became a $1 billion hit. Other projects were promised that were never materialized, such as Rian Johnson's Trilogy, and another one overseen by the Game of Thrones showrunners D.B. Benioff and David Weiss. Daisy Ridley's upcoming return to Star Wars has been languishingly in development since being announced to fanfare almost 2 years ago. It's still crazy to me. This movie has been stuck in writer hell for 2 years. even if Kathleen Kennedy leaves Lucasfilm at the end of the year, fans are still going to be negative and complaining about everything, no matter who Disney picks as the next president of Lucasfilm.
I mean, he's not wrong.
You're not wrong.
Star Wars fans are the worst fans because they can never be satisfied.
I was satisfied with 3. Like, 3 is not a perfect movie, but I was satisfied with 3.
See, you're not satisfied.
No, even George Lucas said that 3 is not a perfect movie. There's even scenes that he said that they needed, but they cut because of timing. But no, you're not wrong. Though my biggest thing is this gives me hope that we might move into maybe a better period. I'm a Star Wars fan deep at heart.
You say this every week, George.
I do say this every week. I'm sorry. I like Star Wars. I have a stack of lightsabers, and you know that. I just want the franchise to be good again. Go back to like PlayStation 2, Xbox 360, you know, the Star Wars Battlefront 2 days, like fantastic game. And then EA made Battlefront 2 and not a fantastic game.
What?
It's not that good. It's better than their Battlefront, but it's not as good as Battlefront 2 on with like Galactic Civil War and such, or Galactic Conquest. What, do you disagree?
I think the gameplay is leagues better.
Okay. To me, I have more fun with the other one. There's elements of the new one that I like, but to me, there's still so many problems with it. And I think the biggest problem with it is it requires so much online that unless you're in a good server, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
I mean, the last time I tried to play it, I think I sat in the lobby waiting to get in a match. I think it was 45 minutes, and I gave up.
Yeah. I believe it.
Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, probably going to be the front runner, and people still love Star Wars. So I would agree. I'm trying to remember which one is which.
Dave Filoni made Clone Wars. Jon Favreau was his partner for Mandalorian, and he directed Iron Man.
That's what I thought. I think it's probably going to go, if he wants it, Jon Favreau.
If he wants it, yeah.
I think Dave Filoni would be the better of the two, though.
I think it's going to go to Dave Filoni because I don't see Jon Favreau taking a whole company.
See, I think the only reason I think Dave Filoni would be the better of the two is because the times that he has directly worked on some of the projects and was more in charge of them, you can see like the passion for Star Wars in his creations.
And I just say that because like, I just don't see Dave Filoni taking a whole branch like that.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a lot to take on. I just also, I don't know if he could necessarily handle the brand that well, if that makes sense. He's done a great job. Again, The Mandalorian was probably, well, not even probably. The Mandalorian is one of the biggest franchises under Star Wars.
Yeah. I'd argue
my biggest gripe with it is I think we got too stuck on Grogu because Grogu became too much of a moneymaker for the Walt Disney Company.
Yeah.
I think The Mandalorian would still, I mean, the movie's coming out. We'll go see the movie when that eventually comes out. I think the Mandalorian series, though, I think would have kept doing better if we had moved past Grogu and continued on, the bounty hunter trail of it.
Yeah.
Which is what I think fans were being promised of. Where if we look at, again, go TV show, the Clone Wars, that went on forever. And that, every one of those episodes feels like a passion project. I wouldn't be shocked or surprised if Disney delay Avengers Doomsday to November 2026. They put in focus for the Mandalorian movie.
Has a date been announced for the Mandalorian movie?
I don't. For the Mandalorian movie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's next year. It's in full filming and such.
Okay.
Mandalorian is right now listed to drop in the U.S. May 22nd, 2026. So I could see Doomsday being pushed back a little bit, especially with
I
this
don't think
change
to
that's happening.
November.
You don't think November?
No.
That'd put it right there in time for the Christmas rush. That means they can get the do the Thanksgiving drop with it and try to get that entire holiday season.
Avengers has always been a summer movie.
It has, but what else do they really have going on in that second half of the year?
Well, we don't know because they haven't announced their slate yet. That slate's going to get announced this year.
I think Kevin's on to something. I think we're going to see it be delayed. But again, we'll see.
They're slated to begin filming here next month, I think.
Okay.
For Avengers. So.
Just to finish it out, Kennedy's storied career includes work with Steven Spielberg and husband Frank Marshall, with collaborations including The Raiders of the Lost Ark in 1981, E.T. the Extraterrestrial in 1982, Gremlins 1984, The Color Purple in 1985, The Goonies 1985, Empire of the Sun 1987, Who Framed Roger Rabbit 1988, the Back to the Future trilogy 1985 to 1990, and the Indiana Jones films, which concluded with last year's Dial of Destiny. In all, she has produced or executive produced more than 70 films and have been nominated for 8 Oscars.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, no, she had a big history, and she worked with a lot of really, really big names and such. And that's why it seemed like she was the best choice to lead Lucasfilms.
Yeah.
It's just there was a lot of unfortunately bad decisions that were made along the way. So hopefully she enjoys retirement. Hopefully we get some new good lead and we see where everything goes. Knock on wood, hopefully some good Star Wars properties. Maybe, we've talked about this on the channel before, supposedly Revan was being moved into production or moving into pre-production. Maybe we get Revan. Disney can step away from the whole 1 through 9 period that they're having problems with at the moment and go all the way back to the old Republic.
Don't get your hopes up. Don't get your hopes up.
I know. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on all the latest content. And if you just can't get enough of theme parks, video games, TVs, and movies, we've got plenty more where that came from. So go ahead and check out another video. We know you'll love it. Also, don't forget to join us live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time right here for the Pop Culture Jungle, where we break down all the latest in entertainment and pop culture. Until then, take care, stay awesome, and we'll see you later.